Hey there, fellow gamers, and welcome to Insightful Gaming. Buckle up as we unearth the badass build that's been flying under everyone's radar since the dawn of Season 21. At the epicenter of this powerhouse setup is the Chromatic Fire, an exotic chess piece that turns you into a force to be reckoned with. Imagine being capable of popping off endless void explosions that weaken your foes. Combined with our setup, you've got a seriously epic ability to wipe out enemy mobs at a moment's notice. But it doesn't stop there. This beefy build still packs enough punch to melt even the toughest bosses when you've got the right weapons equipped. And guess what? All this carnage is dished out while we're swimming in heals and shields, all thanks to our hefty Void class. The cherry on top. You can run this build with other subclasses too with just a few easy tweaks. But hold on to your controllers because we're not done. With some 6 seasonal mods, this build morphs you into a literal Nova Bomb-tossing demigod. Obliterate your foes and unleash havoc with devastating void-heavy weaponry for an even bigger wallop. If this guide lights up your gaming brain, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and smash that subscribe for more mind-blowing gaming content. Let's deep dive into the mechanics of this build, starting with the star of our show, Chromatic Fire. This exotic beast comes equipped with a unique perk called Crystalline Transistor. With this, landing precision final blows with kinetic weapons triggers an explosion, dealing damage in your subclass element and adding some elemental flair. Specifically, with our Void setup, landing precision kills with kinetic damage lets us pull off Void elemental explosions, dealing up to a whopping 280 damage, seriously weakening our targets. Alright gamers, let's gear up with some weaponry that'll pair perfectly with our Chromatic Fire. We're looking for heavy-hitting, high DPS kinetic weapons that'll turn the tide in our favor. We've got a few stellar options to choose from. First off, we have the Malfeasance, a beauty that packs an explosive punch with its exotic perk, the Explosive Shadow. Picture this. You're firing tainted slugs that dig into enemies. Stack enough of these bad boys and boom. They detonate, leaving any survivors in a state of shock. These are particularly great for taking down those pesky unstoppable champions. This weapon is a powerhouse, dishing out insane damage, racking up quick kills, and proccing our Chromatic Fire perk, precision final blows that result in a void damage explosion, weakening your foes. These two exotics. A match made in gaming heaven. Another top-tier pick is the Wish-Ender Bow for those high-damage hits. And let's not forget the Chattering Bone, a legendary pulse rifle. This can roll with kinetic tremors, where sustained kinetic damage to a target sets off a shockwave, damaging all nearby enemies. This bad boy, in tandem with our Chromatic Fire exotic, means void and kinetic tremor explosions left and right. Moving to your secondary, the Harsh Language is a solid pick. This can roll with Destabilizing Rounds and Repulsor Brace, both packing a punch for Void subclasses. Alright, time to talk tactics and how this whole build spins around our weakening explosions. To get things rolling, lob a grenade into the enemy ranks, dealing damage, applying that weakening debuff, and recharging your melee energy. As you wipe out enemies, they'll drop orbs. Grab those orbs for some sweet Devour bonuses. Taking out weakened enemies also drops Void Breaches, boosting your ability energy. Follow up with a Healing Rift to tap into the Child of the Old God's power, and use your melee for a grenade energy boost. Our armor mods and aspects work in harmony, keeping us stocked with grenade, melee, and ability energies for a never-ending rotation. Throughout the fight, keep blasting away with your primary kinetic weapon, aiming for those precision kills for more void and kinetic explosions. This build is a riot, and I promise you're gonna have a blast tearing through the ranks. Up next, let's delve into the abilities specifically crafted for this kick-ass build. Each one has been handpicked to complement our playstyle and supercharge our battlefield dominance. First up, we have Cataclysm, our mega ability that lets us loose a massive Nova Bomb. This bad boy seeks out enemies and spawns mini black holes upon explosion, a perfect tool for wiping out enemy clusters or bringing down the big bosses. Then we've got the Vortex Grenade, a nifty grenade that whips up a vortex, sucking enemies in and constantly dishing out damage to those caught in its grip. Up next is the Life-Giving Healing Rift, our class ability. This casts a circle of restorative energy, rapidly healing health and shields. To cover ground and outmaneuver our foes, we've got Burst Glide, the Voidwalker's movement ability that lets us fly through the air, covering vast distances and giving us top-notch maneuverability. For our melee ability, we're packing the epic Pocket Singularity, which summons a mini black hole that snags enemies before detonating on contact, just the ticket for wiping out groups of weaker foes or setting up bigger targets for our other abilities. Together, these abilities meld into a perfect storm, making us an unstoppable force in any encounter. Moving on to the aspects that amp up our build, we've got Child of the Old Gods. This aspect gifts us with 2 fragment slots and works beautifully with our build. Casting your Rift calls forth a void soul that homes in on and damages your target, weakening them. As the target weakens, you'll gain grenade and melee energy when healing Rift is active. A killer addition that speeds up our grenade cooldowns, keeping the grenade party going. Next, we've got Feed the Void, which sets off Devour whenever you take out a target with a Void ability. With Devour active, final blows give a health boost and extend Devour, and throw in some grenade energy too. These aspects offer loads of ways to generate grenade energy, cripple enemies, and stand up to the toughest fights. Switching gears to our fragments, we've picked out Echo of Provision, which grants melee energy every time we damage a target with our grenade, an excellent fragment that keeps our melee energy topped up. Next, we're rolling with Echo of Undermining for that extra weakening punch. Lastly, we're bringing Echo of Persistence into the mix, extending our Devour and other void buffs. To wrap it up, we've got Echo of Remnants. This fragment doubles the lingering grenade effects for our Vortex grenade. These aspects are the perfect fit for our build, blending seamlessly with our overall setup. Next on the agenda, let's talk stats. First off, pump up your resilience to max. This is your armor offering a hearty 30% damage resistance. Then, give a big welcome to Discipline, the superstar of the show that keeps your grenade energy rolling. These 2 stellar stats are all set to make your gameplay an absolute smash hit. Now onto armor mods, the secret sauce that transforms our build into an unrelenting powerhouse. We're rocking 2 Ashes to Assets mods, gifting us extra super energy for every grenade kill. And trust me, with our Vortex grenades, we're in the grenade kill business. Up next, we're kitting out with Harmonic Siphon, which spits out an orb of power when we land rapid void weapon final blows, a perfect way to generate orbs of power quickly and efficiently. You could also swap out one of the Ashes to Assets mods for a Heavy Ammo Finder mod if you fancy, depending on your squad setup. Switching to gloves, we're armed with a Firepower mod, creating an orb of power with grenade final blows. We've also added in a Grenade Kickstart mod, which tops up grenade energy the moment it's depleted. Sure, it chews up 1 armor charge buff, but no worries, our build is overflowing with armor charges. Lastly, we're running the Bolstering Detonation, topping up our class ability energy each time we cause grenade damage, a great way to keep our Rift in play. Onto our chest piece, feel free to add in your favorite defensive mods here. Moving to boots, we've got 1 Innervation mod, chopping down grenade cooldown each time we scoop up an orb of power. We're also strapping on stacks, doubling up armor charge stacks with each orb of power collected. That's right, 1 orb gives us 2 stacks. Next, we're equipping Insulation, which slices down ability cooldown every time we collect an orb of power, and believe me, we're in the business of generating orbs. Lastly, for our Warlock Bond, we're slotting in 1 Bomber mod, reducing grenade cooldown whenever we use our class ability. We're also adding in the Reaper mod, helping to create another orb of power after scoring a kill post-class ability use, a common sight in this build. Wrapping it up, we're using Powerful Attraction. This bad boy hoovers up nearby orbs of power whenever you activate your class ability. Let's deep dive into the seasonal mods. These are the critical enhancements that fine-tune our electrifying rig, cranking up your abilities to record breaking heights and leaving your foes utterly bamboozled. Kicking things off, we have a lineup of 5 unique anti-champion mods to play around with. For our build, select the ones that best match the specific challenge you're stepping into. Next up, in the second row, we're opting for authorized mods Void and Melee. These gems significantly slash the energy costs of all armor mods that amp up your melee and arc abilities. For the third row, get yourself the Unto the Breach mod. This baby triggers a Void Breach when you knock out a Void to buff target while your Void subclass is running. Onto the fourth column, we've cherry-picked the Countercharge mod, which gives an armor charge stack each time you stun a champion. We're also running with the Protective Breach mod. This lifesaver hands out an overshield or tops up your existing one every time you pick up a Void Breach. And finally, in the fifth row, we're going with Supernova, which sets off a massive weakening pulse from your next source of Void damage once you snag a Void Breach. We're also throwing in Squad Goals, pulling off a finisher while Devour is in place spreads Devour to nearby buddies when your Void subclass is active. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the grand finale of our build. I trust this video left you both enlightened and amused. If this video tickled your fancy and you crave more, don't hesitate to drop a comment, smash that like button, and hit subscribe. Until our next rendezvous, keep hustling and may the RNG gods shower you with their blessings.